It's the People Station V-103, ATL's #1 for hip-hop and R&B. We have a very, very special guest on the line. Dr. Umar Johnson is on. Dr. Umar, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
All is well. Thanks for having me on.
For everybody listening, Dr. Umar's name has been quoted and speeches have been mentioned. He's been talked about on records. He is the guy that understands more about what this country is going through as it relates to African Americans than anyone else. And it's Juneteenth. We decided to get you on. How does it feel when you yearly get to talk about the importance of Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is very, very important. And although our community has learned that Juneteenth is associated with formerly enslaved Africans in Texas finding out on June 19th, finally, that slavery had ended almost 2 years ago with the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863, what a lot of them don't know is that Juneteenth was as much about black soldiers who showed up, Civil War soldiers who showed up to actually liberate our ancestors from slave masters who refused to let them go. So yes, it was about finding out slavery was over, but it was also about African-American soldiers showing up to liberate our people from slave masters who didn't want to free them.
Wow. You know, Dr. Umar, I've always wanted to ask you because, you know, you take time out every year to educate young African-Americans, not only about historically black colleges and universities, but you also do tours where you take them to Africa. We find out now, as everything is going on, people are starting to wake up in America, and especially black people, and a lot of them will admit there's a lot that they don't know. What do you say about that?
That's true. That's very true, which is why I think the timing is perfect for so many African Americans to start getting interested in Africa, interested in their cultural heritage, their genealogical heritage, and I welcome people to go to Africa. We were just there this past year with the year return in Ghana. We'll be going again once the COVID situation calms down, but there's no better way to learn about Africa than to actually go there.
You know, when I think about it, I think about the fact that you have immigrants and people who have heritage in other countries from all over the world in the United States. You know, it's not uncommon for Japanese to celebrate, or the English or the Italians or the French or anywhere else in the world to celebrate their heritage. But for us, it's not just about the heritage of a country. It's more about the heritage of a people in a continent with several different countries. Does that make it more difficult for us? The fact that we're from so many different places in Africa and not just from one country?
For some people, it does get complicated. For me, it doesn't. And I'll tell you why. As you just mentioned, we come from so many different nations and ethnicities on the African continent. There was no respect paid to cultural heritage when they decided to mate the man with the woman. So any one of us can be a composite of 15, 30, 75, 100 different African ethnicities within a single person. So for me, just knowing I'm African is good enough, because you won't be able to limit us to one nation. We belong to so many. So when I go to Africa, no matter where I go, and I've been all over the continent, I feel at peace, because African Americans are truly the Pan-African people. We are a conglomerate of everything the continent has to offer.
One last question. Where do you think our country is headed? So much change is being made. You have companies all over the country that are waking up, companies that are saying we're sorry. We have companies that are now finally understanding and putting money up for the cause. Is this truly a change happening right now in your mind?
In my humble opinion, and we appreciate the apologies, but my concern for us as African Americans, we have always been suckers for superficiality. We have always been suckers for cosmetic surgery. And although we can appreciate Aunt Jemima Pancakes changing its name and changing its logo, we can appreciate the Confederate flags that come down. We can appreciate the statues that get removed, but that's cosmetic surgery. America doesn't need cosmetic surgery. America needs deep, invasive surgery. America needs a heart transplant. America needs a kidney transplant. And so what we're looking for after these superficial changes are made, we need substantive change. Substantive change. We want mandatory minimum sentencing for police who kill unarmed African Americans. We want student loan debt forgiveness. We want an end to gentrification, an end to miseducation. We want a change to the criminal code. Those are the things that would be meaningful for African Americans and not just empty symbol removals.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the People's Station V-103. I truly appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. Happy Juneteenth.
All right, happy Juneteenth, everybody. And I got a question as we move forward. So many people are waking up in our community, but I got to ask you a question. How black are you? It's Friday. You tell me. How black are you? We're going to have some fun with this one. Call us 404-741-WVEE. Let's go.